Welcome back to Taiwan Outlook. Our guest today is the president of the Academia Sinica, Dr. Chi-Huey. Dr. Wong, we know that you're very famous for your research on, biotechnology-related, projects. Why do you think that Taiwan, per se, is competitive in terms of biotechnology?
Well, as you know, Taiwan has been in biotechnology for almost 30 years, but we have not seen the real value there. If you look at the world market today, there's about $800 billion market. But Taiwan only takes about 0.6% of the world market. So you can see we don't have. You can say we don't have biotechnology.
That's right.
You can also say we have a bright future for the development in the field. But I'm very optimistic about that in Taiwan because we have a very innovative research environment and very good education system. So we do have talents in the field. And the problem we encounter in the past is that we didn't have the bylaw to encourage this area. And we also didn't have the right infrastructure to accommodate the industrial sector.
Infrastructure in terms of what?
Infrastructure, for example, we have a science park.
Yeah, that's right.
But we don't have a science park designed for biotech development.
I see. Mainly for the information technology.
Yes. So now we have Zhubei Bioscience Park being developed, and Dangang Bioscience Park is going to be developed, and then Kaohsiung Bioscience Park. So now we do have the infrastructure, and we have very good education system there to train the student in the field, and we have very strong medical science in Taiwan. And then in terms of bylaw, as you know, last year we passed a new bylaw. It's called Biotechnology and New Drug Development Law. And that will change the landscape of the industry. That will encourage innovation and also provide the incentive for investment and technology transfer. So I think in the next 5 to 10 years, you will see a major change.
But the thing is, other countries are also investing a lot in similar fields.
Yes.
In comparison, what are the competitive advantages that Taiwan enjoys?
I think the strength in Taiwan is early stage discovery, not the contract manufacturing, which has been the strength in the IC industry. So in the biotech industry, I think the strength in Taiwan is discovery. The question is, how do we translate into commercialization? And to do that, we need to have very good infrastructure to make that transition, and also healthy bylaw to encourage the technology transfer. And so in the past, we ignore that, the early stage discovery and development. We have very good discovery and also very good late stage development, say phase 3 clinical trial.
That's right.
But in between,
nothing.
Almost nothing there. But if we look at that carefully, actually, we do have the ability and the strength to do that. We simply didn't do it before. So I think we need to come back to look at the strengths in Taiwan in terms of developing the biotech industry. From discovery to early stage development will be the area we have to strengthen.
But biotechnology is a very broad concept, right? What are the areas, President Wong, you think that Taiwan has really strength?
Will be 3 areas. One, of course, agricultural biotechnology has been traditionally very strong, but we didn't make it international business. And the second area is drug discovery.
Drug discovery.
Yeah, the third area is a high-end medical device. And this, I think, will be the 3 major areas Taiwan can compete. And if you look at the area of drug discovery, of course, Chinese medicine, we use that for 1,000 years, but we don't have a good understanding of that.
So
that will be a good starting point to use modern science and technology to increase the value of that part. And you can either identify the active component and to prove the effectiveness of that, or you can use that as a botanical drug. I mean, a mixture of the many components, and then go through the evidence-based research to prove it. And that will increase the value of this type of natural product. So I think we do have the opportunity. We simply gave up before.
Yeah. But in addition to the research institutions in Taiwan, how about industries? Are they investing as well in the biotechnologies a lot in comparison with information technologies?
Information is more investment there, but I see the growth of investment in the biotech area is increasing very, very fast. So I'm very optimistic about this.
And is there any working relationship between the academia, Sinica, and industries in general in terms of developing our strong points at the biotech?
Yeah, we set up a so-called incubation center to incubate the early stage discovery and to make it more mature type of development for the industry to pick up. And I think it's a very important stage for us to do, because a lot of basic discoveries, as I mentioned, are still pretty far away from industrialization. So we need to make the transition to establish the incubation center to conduct translational research. So the industrial sector will be more willing to pick that up and then continue to develop that into a product. And we have been doing very well in terms of that.
But in order to develop our biotech industry, you mentioned earlier that the government passed the bylaws and the infrastructure has been improved and so on. But there must be some challenges for this industry, especially in Taiwan. What do you think are the major challenges that Taiwan will face in developing the biotech industry?
I think so far we have overcome the most important problems by law and the infrastructure. And then the major challenge will be to move from discovery to development. And that, I think, will require a lot of effort. And the talents, experienced people have to be recruited to work on that. Because in the past, we didn't have that effort. So we miss a lot of people there. And most of them actually are in foreign countries. So the next few years, I think, need to create an attractive environment to recruit these people back, so they can contribute their strength to the development of the industry here. And I feel pretty confident about it. But apparently
other countries are doing the same thing. And is there any copies or experience that we can learn from other countries? Do you see any country successfully transforming the economy from other industry to the biotech industries?
Oh yeah, of course. We have to look at how other successful countries do. I think the most successful country, of course, is the U.S.
That's right.
And if you look at the industrial sector, biotech sector in the U.S., many of them actually come from Taiwan. Many of the high-level managers. So the question is, how do you provide an incentive for them to come back to make their contribution? And as I mentioned, the major problem I see is the salary.
The pay scale is too low.
Yeah, and because if you make too much changes, then you have to change your lifestyle. And if you change your lifestyle too much, it's unlikely you can recruit these people.
That's right.
they have family, they have a very stable lifestyle, and the way they handle things. A dramatic change will cause problem unless you have some good reason for
That's
them.
Right.
Also.
But some people say that the reason why Taiwan can, develop such a successful information technology was that in the 80s or 90s that we were able to recruit the best talents who stay in the U.S., in other countries, back to Taiwan. Is the Academia Sinica or other industry doing the same thing, try to recruit the best talents from other countries?
Yes. I think that's how we get into the IC industry. The semiconductor industry was done that way. I think we can do the same way in the biotech area.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we doing a headhunting thing, trying to target any specific person and try to bring them back to Taiwan?
Oh yes, yes. In university, in the academy, we do that. I think in industry they start to do that, and the venture capital group in Taiwan are also very actively recruiting high-level managers from the U.S. to come back. I do see that kind of activity going on now.
But in general, do you think that Taiwan is having a brain drain or brain gain in terms of in the field of biotech? Because we know some people, for instance, are now leaving Taiwan to go to other countries, including China.
Right.
So what's the best way to stop this kind of brain drain in this biotech field?
I think most of talents are in the U.S. It's good, you can say it's bad too, but it's our reservoir.
Yeah.
And the question is, how do you use them? How do you take advantage of these talents which have been there? They are very interesting and willing to work in Taiwan, and we just have to face the reality. I think you cannot just ask them to come back.
That's right.
I think you have to show what you can offer to them so they can make their contributions.
Is the Academia Sinica now having more flexibilities in terms of paying scales, salaries, and so on, stipends? And
For research fellow, yes. For senior research fellow, but for junior research fellow, no. Yeah, I think it's too low.
Yeah. Are you thinking about any, possible changes in the future?
It's difficult because it's the general problem, and I think the government has to face this.
Yeah, because you are still a government agency, right?
Yes, yes. Well, university have the same problem.
That's right.
They cannot change the pay scale that easly, right?
So look to the future. What do you think about the prospects for Taiwan's biotechnology? And in how long time do you think that Taiwan will be able to really, commercialize in such a, successfully our products?
I think we can predict that in the medical device area, it will move very fast.
Yeah.
Because it's more related to the IC industry. So you can use our IC foundation to develop, to enter the biotech area. And then the drug discovery area and agricultural biotech area will grow also. So if you, for example, now we only take about 0.6% of the world market. Now, 5 years from now or 10 years from now, if we take 5%, that's a very conservative estimate. 5%. 10 years from now, the world market will be 2 trillion.
Yeah.
Now, 5% will be 3.5 trillion Taiwan dollars.
That's right.
So if we can take 5% of the world market,
it's big enough.
We'll be the largest.
That's right.
In Taiwan.
Yeah.
And I'm very optimistic about this.
Yeah. But you've been saying that you need the best talents to go into the fields and so on.
Right.
And you are long-time researchers. And some people say that it's very lonely to be a researcher because you have to stay in the laboratory and so on. What do you have to say to the young people? This is the best field that you can get into.
Well, I think when you get into basic research, the reward is that basic discovery if it's important enough, always has practical matter there. And that is the joy when you get involved in basic research, because you do see the impact in the future. And the major impact in the life science area, of course, is you will see what you discover become a commercial product there. And in the past, we didn't encourage the development of the discovery. But I think now you can see the activity is very high now.
That's right.
So I'm sure once we have a successful story, it will encourage a lot of young people to get into the field.
That's right.
And to share the excitement in the field.
Yeah.
It's not a boring experience. I think a lot of basic scientists actually are pretty wealthy.
That's right.
Because their intellectual properties have been used by the industry and to make a product to improve the wealth, the health of a human society. And I think that, in a sense, it's a major contribution.
That's right. You can not only change your own life, but also change the whole world, right, sir?
Right.
Right. And thank you very much, President Wong, for coming to our program. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity.
And that's President Wong of the Academia Sinica. And thank you for watching Taiwan Outlook, and see you next time.